Hello, everyone. My name is Dara. Welcome to Dear Hallmark. This is my space where you can come in and we can talk about all things Hallmark Channel. But we're going to be doing something a little different today. I have two dear special guests in the home of Dear Hallmark, and I want this to be more of a conversation. This is not really an interview per se, because both gentlemen have been on the podcast before, but I hope you guys have fun. This is what happens when a photographer, an actor, and a writer get on a Zoom call and talk about things. And so we'll see what happens. You all, I want you to welcome Allister and Antonio. Gentlemen, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. Welcome.
Good,
So
Thank
good.
you.
So
good.
good. Yeah.
Awesome.
It's great to be here on this. What is it today? Monday?
It's a
Glib
Yeah.
Monday.
Monday.
I mean, what is time as he's looking at his
Yeah,
watch, right?
yeah. I've got nothing.
It's just great to this is I could spill about how much I love Antonio and how special this is about mainly him. Like we keep on trying to talk about how we're going to get together
I know.
in the same city, but
Yeah,
I know we both know how it is. But yeah,
it's
yeah,
it'd be so challenging.
yeah. Dear to my heart, this man. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
likewise.
Well, Antonio, why don't you tell the people a little bit about yourself? And Alistair, I'll have you follow up once Antonio's finished.
what do I say about me? I mean, anybody who knows your show knows me in one of two ways. They've either seen one of the Hallmark movies that I've done at some point, or they have been on one of your lives and listened to me my unhinged rants about how much I dislike places like Staples. Um, and I think that if there's anything people need to know about me, that's kind of the spectrum. I consider myself a pretty normal person. Normal, whatever that means. I just mean like day to day. I'm doing the same things everyone else is doing. I love that I get to make movies. And lately, I've been making less than I have in previous years, and so there's certainly something to look at when I think of like the course of my life, the different things that I've done, and what the seasons and time periods are. But the idea that I can hop onto a live and we can just like chop it up over some sort of nonsense, it's kind of closer to who I am on a daily basis. I love living in. I think that I live in the random. Like you tell me what you're doing tomorrow and I can probably be there. If you ask me to plan something, I'm probably going to fail at it. I just can't function that way. Um, and
Well, I'm
and
grateful you
similarly,
succeeded in this. Thank you for
I'm
planning
shocked that
for
I did. I'm
this.
shocked. It's amazing. And
I mean,
the universe conspired against me. The universe gave me a sick kid today.
I feel like we should have introed each other instead of ourselves because you're
Truth.
leaving out you're leaving out loving father and very accomplished restaurateur.
Oh, thank you. Oh,
Mm.
thank you. It's true. Yeah, I appreciate that. It's so interesting. The longer I spend doing things, the less I the less time I identify myself with things that I do, which
Mm.
is always how I've always identified. And now I'm
Mm.
telling
Mhm.
I'm like, you know me because I say crazy things in a rant, which you're right, it's not the truth. There's more to the story. I think I forget. I forget the things that I do day to day, honestly.
But, well, Alistair, please introduce yourself to the lovely people.
Hi, my name is Allister Foster. I have had the pleasure of working with Hallmark, the brand, for quite a few years as a on-set stills photographer as well as a gallery photographer. So my work has been featured as PR. So, like in articles about all your favorite movies, there may be a image that I helped create that would be attached to that, or some of the key art, the poster work that accompanies all the your favorite movies. If I have had the luck, participated in helping create some of those as well. So.
What were some of your most recent films you worked on so that people can kind of gauge some pictures of yours that they've seen?
Christmas Above the Clouds did the poster work for that, not the unit work. And then, oh, I'm drawing a blank. What else
You
did we
did
do?
you do She's Making a List with
Yeah, we did She's Making
Lacey?
Lists. I was the on set for that. Yeah.
We didn't cross paths. I was there one day. I didn't see you.
No
So sad. I
way.
know,
Yeah, he
right?
was in it.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes,
I
yes.
literally
That was
dropped
a
in for
really
one
fun
day.
title too. That was really fun to work with.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas, Ted Cooper. What else do we do? Uh, Holiday Break
Right.
and yet to come out Eclipse. I don't know what the working title was, Eclipse Chasers, but I can't. Sarah Drew's new movie, which
Oh, it's called The Stars Upon Us or something like that.
Mm.
yes,
Something to
something that
something to that effect.
yeah,
Yeah.
I know it's premiering soon. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. In a
Yeah, so
few
that would have
weeks.
been one of the last titles that I actually worked on, but there's always a little bit of a delay sometime depending on what when the scheduling is, but that probably would have been the most recent. Yeah.
Cool. Cool.
Also,
Yes.
for anyone listening though, like, and this is no shade to other photographers certainly, but like not all onsets are the same. I mean that. Like I've worked with a whole bunch of different photographers, and there were many times where I felt like cattle, or I felt very uncomfortable, and I felt out of body. And I know from other people's reactions, let alone my reaction to you, that you have this gift of being able to walk in with all of your humanity and people show up with all of theirs for you. And the photos that you end up getting with people are real people having real moments. And that's not always the case with onset. So, I mean, I don't know. I think it bears saying because I don't think a lot of people know what we do and what the vibe can be on set. And to be able to cut through tension, to cut through politics, to cut through anything that happens in that, like that happens to be happening on that day, just with the power of who you are, that's, I think that's profound. So, I mean, all of those titles are great, but I think that we're not all created equal. There's a thing that you bring to those set that's a different gift, and I dig that. I always have.
It's I mean, I think that's why we're all supposed to be there, right? Like that's the whole
Mm,
point, I think is
yeah,
really what it is. The the simplest way that I think I've always like I've been on set for got like 20 plus years in a bunch of different ways, not only as a photographer, but uh like like it's a challenging environment to be
yeah,
in. And you really, really have to love just being in the industry, in any entertainment industry. It's not really like a easy career job, like it
Hmm.
definitely requires passion, because there's a little bit of like, it's a little masochistic, right? A little
yeah,
bit, right? Like,
yeah.
but like, yeah,
It
if you're
can
not
hurt your
having fun,
feelings.
if you're not
Yeah.
having fun, then what are we doing,
What are we
right? Like,
doing?
what are we doing? Like, and
Yeah,
that's really what it boils down to.
yeah.
That's interesting you say that. I recently read an article about having passion versus ambition, or
Mm,
like the duality of both, specifically within like corporate America. But I'm curious what that would look like, Alistair, being as though you just talked about having passion. What does that look like? And Antonio, you can speak to this too. What does that look like within this space? Is it a versus or is there like a coexistence of the two, or does one kind of edge out the other?
I'll spit maybe like a couple of like very canned things that I think a lot of some that everybody knows. Like it's one that I definitely have took me, I think, a long time in my career path to get to where I am currently is that accolades, A, they don't pay bills and they don't really go on your tombstone, right?
yeah,
Mm,
yeah,
So it's like it doesn't really matter. Like I know that what you talk about ambition versus passion, and I think like there's things that I thought I was very ambitious and I wanted, and I thought that that really would help define like me arriving somewhere.
hmm.
But like the really like cheesy way to put it is just that it's just the people along the way always. Like it's
yeah,
Mm,
always the people along the way. I think the thing that I really realized was like when I was in a rush, thankfully there were enough roadblocks in place to where I thought I wanted to go that it slowed me down enough to realize that where I was far more rewarding because of like the relationships that I was building with people that you don't often get to have. And like you said, corporate, especially in a corporate environment, never mind on a film set, like it is so rare to be able to like actually see maybe like the same people on a regular basis, especially from like my position, because like I don't
hmm.
always get to come in for the entire show. And
yeah,
then like that show ends, and then maybe you don't work with those people for like years, maybe the
yeah,
rest of your life, right? And like
Mm,
you literally just kind of in a way went to battle with them, like you surmounted obstacles and so like the way that you connect with people on set and the way that you are able, like that, the beauty and the benefit of being able to build relationships and like the doors that that can open, like it doesn't really kind of matter what those projects are at a certain point once you get into those relationships with people because it's really just about being with people, and
Mm.
being able to
Mhm.
collaborate and then all these weird doors open, like going on a Christmas cruise that would never be possible for me,
Yeah,
if it wasn't for the fact that I have like the bounty of being able to like have like great human relationships
right.
with, a corporate culture and consider them my friends, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Antonio, what are your thoughts on the passion versus ambition conversation?
I mean, I co-sign all of that. It's interesting. Like, you know, we age and we learn certain things.
Hmm.
I've never been a person who was interested in accolades, and I didn't understand them, but I understood that I needed them. At the time, I understood that I needed them. There were people winning awards. I didn't win awards. There were people if I was going to win an award, it would be as part of a best ensemble. That's
Mm.
just that's who I've always kind of been. I've never been the person who like stands up and stands out and is the like whatever. And so growing up, I would see my friends getting picked off for these things and go like, oh man, am I doing this wrong?
Mm.
And deep down inside, I was like, I care about what I do, but I care about what I do as one-off things. When I'm in something, I love it with everything that I have, and then when it's gone, it's gone. It's the end of something, and it moves on. And it took me years to figure out that like um, I was not just okay with that, but that the reflection that the world showed me was not actually a mirror image of me. It was their projection of what I was doing was supposed to be, if that
Mm.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Right. I really gave myself the credit to be able to look at life from the inside and to say, no, this is my story. This is my journey. I'm a subset of these beautiful experiences. And like Alistair said, it's the people along the way. I think of I can do a movie with somebody and I can just bond with them and I may never see them again. And if you and I speak, I will probably speak about them A, as if I saw them yesterday, and B, as if I love them more than anyone you've ever met. And it's not because it's because it was true in that moment and it's true now. Like, I don't know if we were recording at this point, but like, what is time, right? Like
Hmm.
time's a pancake. Everything that's now was then and is, you know what I mean? It's all
Hmm.
happening concurrently. So for me, these moments where I've met somebody and they matter to me, you matter for life. You're my people. And it doesn't matter, my memory is not always awesome. And so I might forget, like, I might forget little moments and then have these pangs of like, oh my God, we went through this. You're my guy, you're my girl, like we're good. And so when we talk about passion or ambition, I don't know. I don't think that I am not an ambitious person, but I definitely know that I am a passionate person. And
Yeah.
I think that if I if I identify with either of them, it's the passion side of it. And passion sometimes I think bleeds into ambition, sometimes to your detriment, sometimes to your benefit, depending on, I guess, what level of like self awareness you have. But for me now, even as I get older, I recognize more and more that um, there are things I just don't like doing,
Hmm.
and there are things that I had told myself a story, heard the story, and then believed the story that I was supposed to be doing. And I've recently, in the past like year or two, been able to really let myself off the hook and just go, if you don't love this, you don't have to do that part.
Yeah.
You don't have to say yes to everything. You don't have to work this hard. You can work in flow with who you are and what you love and what you believe. And
Yeah.
that's your story and that's your experience and that matters.
Yeah.
I mean, I do want to, maybe we should acknowledge, you and I both at this point in our life, that there's a we should respect the fact that we are able to be here and say
Yeah,
those things, because I feel
absolutely.
exactly the same way and how special that is, because I think, like you said, in a way that, like there's a time and place that maybe ambition is really the
Yeah,
only thing that opens up those doors, and I definitely do remember that.
yeah.
Um, like
And
somebody,
yet,
But like but at the same but coming back to what you're saying, like
Yeah.
again, like I'm so glad that there were so many things that prevented me from maybe getting to where I thought I wanted to get, which I know is
Yes.
exactly what you're saying. And
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because of exactly you're talking about those bonds that you make with people, and this is
Hmm.
just universal, but like the idea of no time without derailing this whole conversation. You and
Derail.
I have that. I don't know if you feel this way, but I
Yeah,
have that with you.
100%.
Like, so
100%.
how many times have we seen each other?
Not a lot.
Like
Yeah, that,
shameful, shameful. If
yeah.
this was like, if we were trying to like plot the quality of our relationship in the amount of face-to-face time that we've had, like we've done like, I think
It should make, I think so.
we've done
It
like
should
two
make no sense when you tell the story to somebody. What was that? That
party
was a
time.
big celebration.
We've done like two shows together,
Yeah.
and I keep on threatening that we're actually going to actually hang out together
Yeah. Yeah.
outside of work, outside of business.
And we'll get close and then we'll miss it. We'll just
Yeah,
miss it.
but like when I see you,
Yep.
like, and I think there was something about us working together on our first show that, like it's the idea that I think when you really when you're to be with someone
Yeah.
truly is to never miss them. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
And it's to know them.
Yeah,
Like
and you just there is no time there. There is no
yeah,
like I don't worry about like I'm not concerned about not seeing you. I would like it would be such a
same.
gift to have
Yeah.
100% time with you, like all the time. Like I would never
Yeah.
like dude, you were
But what's also
but
interesting is like over the course of my life, I have found myself in these weird places with people where I realize I don't ask questions. I'm not and when I say I don't ask questions, I will engage in big questions and big conversations about things, but I'm not like, hey, what are your parents' names? Do you have siblings? I don't like my mind doesn't shift into um I don't know what it's called, but being able to put together all these little pieces about somebody. I have dear friends and I don't know when their birthday is. And every year I miss their birthday and I'm like, I'm so sorry, but I don't know that. But I could tell you what you think about something, how you feel about something, what your stance is on something. I can read like I can read your energy and sort of go like, I know where you're at right now, but I don't know why you're at where you're at. And to me that and this is what we're talking this is what you're speaking of that resonates with me. I'm like when I sit with somebody and I know them, I just feel like I know them, like I get to connect to some deeper part of who they are without this fictitious world kind of demarcating like he's this and he's that and she's this and she's that and here's how you have to qualify them. Like I all that goes away and I just go like, I don't know, I get you and we're tethered and I'm good with that.
were,
um
were you ready for like essentially two of the same people showing up for this? It's
You don't
like
know what you've
this
done.
is this is like I'm pretty sure there was a moment that we had on set too that I was just like
Yeah,
we did that thing where we were just like and you were like and we
yeah,
didn't say anything and
yeah,
we both had
yeah.
like an entire like and not in the way that
The
you
whole
have like
story.
a black person conversation
No,
but
just
like
like
where you're like
yeah.
but
But
yeah and I was like yeah and I was like I could tell you that you
I
got
get
me
you.
in a way
Yep.
that like like there was but anyway this man is like probably the closest thing to being another version. I think we're definitely
We're very
like
similar.
I'm surprised
I
that
could see
this
it.
is maybe why we don't get to hang out because I
I
think the
know.
world would just like
It'll implode on itself.
time space continuum would be like disrupted.
Yeah, that's
No,
awesome.
but I appreciate you all's thoughts because I feel like I'm kind of at that crossroads in terms of that passion versus ambition thing. Because I've realized that I'm not ambitious, and I don't, it's not a bad thing. Like
Yeah,
not feeling bad that I'm not ambitious because I'm more passionate about what I'm doing, and I care more about the integrity of what I'm doing and what I'm putting out more so than getting to a specific place. And Alistair, I think you said this, like it's more about the people along the way and instead of like the destination, like whatever comes with that.
Totally, like not to be confused with like the like I definitely like and I was trying to say like acknowledge that I think that like we come from a place of privilege. Like
yeah,
I have very low like to say all that is to not have great concern, right?
Yeah.
So I think that was also part of it. Like part of my ambition was like it wasn't necessarily financial or anything else. It was like I need to be somewhere at a certain point in my career for me to be able to like call myself X or this or whatever. Like I need to collect enough, stars on my sash to be able to say that I can belong here or I'm allowed to be here. But like
Hmm.
at the end of the day, like especially, and I think what ha also really helps temper a lot of our attitudes uh, is that, you have a family that you are trying to get home to, which
Yeah.
really puts a lot of things in perspective, like so like as much as like you want to get lost in a moment, which trust me, man, I will race you to just get lost
Yeah.
in us
Same.
in the present, like
Yeah.
that's my strong suit is like it is the present. So
Hmm.
I will be there with you. I will get lost in that moment. It could be as long as it needs to be, but like having the pull to be able to go home and the perspective
Yeah.
to be there for your family and how special that responsibility is. It really puts a lot of things, and then like at the end of the day, like how much do we all ever really need, right? So like, and that's really, I think, the question that I asked myself at some point. Like, I, I'm able to just help as a partner support my family as one of two people to be able
Hmm.
to raise our children and keep them safe, and we have security and they have clothes on their back and food on the table, and like what else do you read? Like we need so little after that that
Yeah.
everything else is just kind of like
Hmm.
self-imposed. And really once you start like Antonio frames it as if like he's like I got less F's to give, but like it's a good place to be because like
Yeah.
how like those F's are like, the more you kind of throw those out and the more like no is a powerful
Yeah.
opportunity giver, right?
Yeah.
Like to
Hmm.
say no often opens up in some cases more doors than it closes,
Yeah.
because it makes you available, right? And like to realize that you don't need much really gives you the
Hmm.
freedom to choose what you want
Hmm.
if your basic needs are taken care of. And I was like
Yeah.
we should be having fun, like
You don't need to chase
I'm
every
like I
thread.
it is a miracle that I am able to do my job in like the current economy and the climate, and I can say that it's the only job that I do.
Right. Yeah.
Like that is alone is a miracle,
Yeah.
you know, because it's not the case for a lot of people. And I'm just like grateful that I'm able to do it. And I get to work with amazing human beings
Yeah.
who are real
Yeah.
people. And that's also not always a currency that's easy to come by for a lot of people.
It's so
Well,
interesting when we talk about it from like this perspective in terms of where we are age-wise and where we are whether it's career or family or there's all this time. I I have just recently been thinking about the shift, and it's been a pretty profound shift for me in terms of being able to sit in who I am outside of the untruths that I had been buying for so long.
mm,
The untruths of I am my relationship, or I am my work, or I am my financial statement, or I am my whatever. And I just wonder, and this is a recent wonder, but I just wonder if when I was younger and I didn't have the privilege of being tethered to my family, being grounded in something in who I am, and if I could have heard this information. And in
mm.
fact, I'm curious if I did hear the information and just thought like that's old heads talking old head stuff. Like if I just couldn't make sense of it.
Yeah,
Because
I think we both did because I resonate
yeah,
with that, right? Like, identity is a amazingly tricky and fickle thing sometimes. And sometimes for a lot of people it seems very secure, right?
yeah,
But
Hmm.
often I feel like it's not as complex or simple as we make it out to be. And I feel like, being able to be, and I've definitely had a similar reckoning in the last
mm,
couple of years of like really kind of sitting with myself in some quiet time and just being like,
yeah.
yeah, it's pretty special. Like there's a submission in being able to let go, of a lot of things, and then like just being able to really truly just kind of be free of your own self to be able to, man, the conversation's going to get out of
It's
hand.
gonna, you don't know where we're going.
Yeah. Uh, Dar,
You,
you don't even know what you got yourself into.
No, the
you,
thing is, I don't care. I'm just
you
like,
just,
go, just go.
I
I'm
because I
just
know I think
kidding.
like just to kind of pick up where you're leaving off is like
yeah,
you really start to kind of, and I think age also helps a little bit.
yeah,
I mean, some people are old souls and they figure this out really early, and I think there's a part of both of us that kind of did.
yeah,
We're already on that trajectory, and I think all three of us, because of the lack of wanting to kind of be spotlight people,
yeah.
there's like a inbuilt, like a built-in kind of security mechanism where you're just going to be grounded a little bit,
Hmm.
maybe
Mm-hmm.
more, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of, you know, like mitigates and kind of like breeds a lot of other things that are really positive influences in your life. But like, yeah, it was like what is the greatest battle is like the battle of the self, right? And part of
Yeah.
that
For
is
sure.
is like all of the things that we think we are when really we're everything and nothing, right? And
We're
that's
everything
like
and
the
nothing. We're and
yeah,
our identity is a combination of habits, just not even habits, repeated actions that we didn't realize we were repeating, and then somebody pointed out to us, and we go, "I guess what that's what I am now," right? Like
right.
it's not true.
But
It's a
but you're
magic truth that
const
you digest.
correct, but then you're also confronted with all the things of like you're integrating with, how life for everyone else also needs to be like simplified as we
Yeah,
all do. So like there's containers that are necessary that you need to be
absolutely.
put in, right? Like I am
Yeah,
this to you and
yeah.
I I perform this, so this is my identity to you
Being
and
able
this is
to
what
be
I
in those containers and do those performances
Yep.
was important, but and the counterpoint for me was that I also needed to be able to release myself of them the moment I wasn't in those in relationship in those moments, right? Like being able to retreat and to go, oh, I'm not actually held by these containers. These containers are communication. Great. Now I understand that when I'm with these people, I can communicate because
Mm-hmm.
we can see each other for what we are,
Mm-hmm.
but that it's not all that holds me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like like you mentioned being able to get back to the family. For years I was like, I have these friends who have decided not to have kids, and they can just pursue their dream in a way that I can't, and what does that mean for my life versus their life? And one day, without knowing it, I just cut the cord, and I was like, I chose to be the greatest version of a teacher, of a leader, of a lover, of a mentor that I could ever have imagined. And there is no accolade for that. And I don't need one. And I
Mm.
don't even need to name it because I get to experience it every day. And now I have two of the greatest teachers that I've ever met. One is homesick, sitting in front of the TV, and the other one is at daycare. And they teach me things on a daily basis that I don't think there is no mountain I could climb to find a guru who could translate the same thing that they can communicate sometimes in just a look,
Mm.
and so when I start to when I again when I start to like zoom out of all of it, and this loosely ties back to the passion versus ambition. I even get lost in those two questions because I'm like, this is just one cohesive experience that I don't need to make sense of. And the more
Mm.
I try to make sense of it, the more I get stuck in the container of trying to communicate what I think it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And then all I am in, I'm in a hall of mirrors. I'm creating a container that gets reflected back to me, and then I react to it, and then I change my reception, and then that reflects back to me, and I react again, and I constantly end up suffering as a result of it. Whereas when I'm able to step out of the container and go, that wasn't me either, all of a sudden I have this freedom to just, I don't know, kind of free flow my way through
Well,
life and to just
it's
be
it's that's it. I think it's just to be is
to
really it.
be.
It's
Yeah.
just to be, like and I think the tricky thing about trying to like get there is for me part of it is like you just don't really ever through whatever divine mystery is like your capacity is just not known to
Hmm.
you.
Yeah.
Some other people might see it in you, but it is
Yep.
not known to you. Like you're not really capable of you don't of knowing what you're capable of,
Yes.
like flat out. Like
Yeah.
it tell you, and the only track record that you have is hindsight, right? You're
Yeah.
like, and hopefully you reflect and you say, oh man, that phase of my life was really challenging, and this is who I've become because of that, and how grateful like I am for those tests and those difficulties or those challenges or those opportunities. But as like you're saying, that's exact like kids are you want a mirror?
Oh my gosh, they're it.
You want a
It's
mirror held up, to show your inadequacies and
uh,
like the amount of growth that you
I was
can
just about to say,
achieve.
I see my behavior on a daily basis reflected back to me instantly, and I go, "Oh, okay,
Yep. That's
no,
not
that's
you.
not it. Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
gotcha."
I mean, because like, what is a toddler doing that you are impatient? Like you lost patience with like a ba like that. That's on you.
That's on
That's
you.
on you,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah,
It's and
yeah,
like you're like, okay, this is great. Like this, I see I see a shortcoming in myself.
yeah.
I see that I have the capacity to be able to like grow into something more than I am currently. And then,
Mm,
the hardest part is often picking up the willpower to do it. But
yeah.
like how great the
How do we make
gift
the
is to
change?
be able to have that growth in your life,
Yeah, being
and
able to see those little miracles as they're happening
yeah, and
because
kids are
they
like,
are that.
and yeah, and the kids really do that for you. I think like you talk about like people who chose not to have kids, which is, I think we need all kinds, right? Like
100%. Yeah,
takes all kinds to like, and there's like I think that's another conversation, dinner conversation for another time.
yeah,
But I think the thing that really hurts me is, I've seen in the industry like so many people, es- and I'll speak for just us dudes,
yeah.
who end up just paying alimony because they
Right,
chose the job,
right. Yeah,
right? And like that's like you talk about the passions versus,
the ambition.
ambition, and you're like you're choosing the job versus like this is like what did Catherine, the rest in peace Catherine O'Hara,
Catherine O'Hara.
said like I think somebody asked her, I saw a reel and they were asking her what
What's the role?
that she hoped that she would be remembered by, and she said mother.
Mother. Yeah,
Yeah, like you asked me what the greatest work as a photographer that I do, it's taking pictures of my family.
yeah,
Yeah, like that's my greatest life's work.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I was literally lamenting, I guess, the other night that I was like, one of the things that I think about all the time is that I don't get to know these kids when they're 80.
Hmm.
And not because I want to watch them, not for a selfish reason, just because I love watching them and I just want to see where they go. I just want to, at least in this realm, I actually think that I will get to watch them when they're 80. But again, that's a different conversation. Um, I was just lamenting the fact that like you have this opportunity, not to make this all parent centric. It just happens to be what I'm going through, and I've never done this before, where you have this opportunity to fill somebody up. You just get to fill their container in so many different ways, and you don't know what you're filling it with. Sometimes it's conscious, sometimes it's unconscious, uh, but it's going to help frame something for them. And the reality that you don't actually get to watch them. I don't get to see them when they're at school. I don't get to see them when they're at play areas and stuff like that. I just don't get to see any of that. And I would love to. I just want to like that is my greatest joy. It's just being able to see them interact with the world and kind of find out who they get to be based on all of our little moments.
I think this is like it's not about like I think making it family centric, but I think this is exactly why we feel this way on like in other aspects of our life,
Yeah.
right? Because I think it's like there's a conceptually speaking, like there's a lot of ways that you can kind of like perceive the world around you, like it could be this or it could be that, right?
Right.
And
Yeah.
often it's a lot of binary, right? But like we
Yeah.
have the control to be able to perceive narrative internally that really guides the way that we feel about and interact with the rest of the world, right? And I
That's a
Hmm.
think
good
a
point.
lot of that is like, if you really have reflected and you like have an intimate relationship with the idea of being a part of a family, whether you
Hmm.
are a parent or you're a sibling or you're a aunt or an uncle, whatever it is, it's like it's not that much of a hop, skip, and a jump to apply
Yeah.
that to the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, and then to really kind of conceptually have this like idea that you perceive like humanity as a whole as like one big family really transforms the way that you kind of interact with people on a daily basis, right? Like
Hmm.
it's not really about trying to perform or practice uh compassion. It's really just about treating people like Antonio's my brother,
Yeah, that's your brother, exactly.
that's it, like
Yeah,
and that kind of love that you can have for a brother is like something that can just kind of magically pop up
yeah,
in the weirdest places.
yeah, yeah. And it's a dynamic knowing.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I think that that's a big part of like you like just wrapping it back up into like, how just being with people is to know them and to kind of just
Yeah.
like really enjoy like that. I think that's my biggest passion right now is just like is the people along the way, right? It really just
Mm.
is the people along the way.
I don't even know how to segue into the next. Like there
Good
is
luck
no,
editing this one.
I'm
Impossible. You
not
gotta play
editing
the song.
anything.
Yeah.
This is going to be
Just gotta press
one
play.
continuous take because this is great. And I'm so grateful. Shout out Shan. I'm giving her an executive producer credit for this episode.
Oh, she is the best.
For
She'll never know. I tried to tell you guys before we start recording. She'll never know. You'll never know how special she is. Yeah.